Today's show, how to make more money. Importance of creating a comprehensive sales plan with an effective call to action, C.T.A. Today's show is sponsored by the Solutionist Portal, which is hosted in convened communities. Real people having real lives, living real experiences. If you're ready for group coaching as an entrepreneur and you want to know the ins and outs on how to do business your way, then hit that QR code or type in www.brenda.thesolutionist.com and get the information you need to live your best life now. What is now? No opportunity wasted. Welcome to Talk to Me. It is Face It Friday, and I'm your host, Brenda Warren, the Solutionist. I help people close the gap between their desire and their reality, and I am ready to help you close yours. Today, I'm going to be joined by my partner in crime, my business partner, Lisa Ducharme, the 15-minute results coach. But before we do, what are we talking about today? We're talking about how to make more money. That's what we're going to talk about. So we're going to have Lisa join me in the stream here. Come on in, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. How you doing today?
Hey, Brenda. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I want to start off by telling everybody it's not just about making more money, because here's the deal. I'm giving you 10 ways entrepreneurs can make more money, because I know that's what y'all came for right at the top. You can start a service-based business, online teaching and training. You can create and sell products. You could create a membership site. That's where you have a website where you have premium content for certain people. But those are really cool. You can do a paper recycling business, have an e-commerce, real estate investment, affiliate marketing, one of my all-time favorite, freelancing, or investing in stocks and bonds. But guess what, y'all? We ain't talking about that today. Why? Because we want y'all to focus. We're going to talk about two things today. We're going to talk about sales plans and calls to action. It is so important that no matter how you decide that you're going to make money, that you have to have a comprehensive sales plan and an effective call to action. And we're going to start this conversation off, Lisa, with the comprehensive sales plan. Why is it important? And the reality is it's important because a comprehensive sales plan serves as a roadmap for businesses to outline their goals and strategies for reaching their target customers and achieving financial goals. And Lisa, before we start our conversation, I want people to know that the most important thing in this is this word right here. You got a plan. Yes, I'm shouting at you guys. Why are you not planning? You're not planning because you're not planning. And Lisa and I are going to talk about that right now. We have 4 points that we're going to get to. But before we start even that, we want to share with you some things that you want to plan for. So I have one more slide before we actually two more slides before we actually start this conversation. This first slide is about plan. What are you going to plan for? Because some of you say, Brenda, plan. I don't even know what you're talking about. Lisa, business events. They got to do their research. We're going to talk about that. Amazon Prime Days is something you can plan for. Amazon's biggest global shopping event exclusively for Prime members is October 10th, 11th this year. Holidays. You got to pay attention to the national holidays and your local holidays and celebrations. Lisa's personal favorite, National Veteran Small Business Week. That's celebrating veteran-owned businesses across the country. It will take place October 30th to November 3rd. Black Friday. This annual event takes place on November 24th, 2023. It offers a significant opportunity for small businesses to boost their sales through discounts and promotions. And Cyber Monday. That's scheduled for November 27th, 2023. This is another major sale event that could benefit small businesses, particularly those operating online. Now, Lisa, I put that out there first, and I know I'm going really fast. We got a lot to cover. We only got a few minutes to do it. So I wanted to get that out and up front, because when people hear the thing, how to make more money, they have a lot of things going on for that. But if your sales plan is jacked and you have no call to action, you're screwed. What say you, Lisa?
Okay, so I agree with you 100%. And I also agree that people do not plan. And what happens is they end up missing out on so many wonderful opportunities. And that becomes a challenge because there's so many resources out there to help you plan and prepare. National Veteran Small Business Day, as you said, my favorite, National Veteran Small Business Week. The SBA has a whole bunch of resources out there to help people prepare and plan. And, you also have Shop Small Business Saturday. So looking for and planning for those things can be very important. It can be a pain. So have a good time doing it. You know what? I'm a stickies person. I did not used to be a stickies person. I became a sticky person when Diane Duquette showed me the value of using sticky notes to organize my thoughts instead of using the computer, because I love mind mapping. I love taking things and moving it from here to here to here, and I used to do it on the computer. But I found that if I can shut my computer down and do my planning with sticky notes and just stick it on the wall, all I need is one wall in my house to start stuff on. And yes, I stick it over the pictures too, because my sticky notes do not damage my glass. And I put it up there, and then I put it in an order. What do I want to celebrate? What do I want to plan for the sale? Am I a nonprofit? Do I have to prepare to work around all of the major holidays when they're not thinking about the nonprofits and giving money to them, and focus maybe solely on the donation days for the nonprofits? Do I celebrate certain holidays? If I celebrate certain holidays, then I can do sales around that. But do all of my customers celebrate that same holiday? Right. One of the challenges is a lot of times people do Christmas sales. They don't do Hanukkah sales, or all of the other holidays that are out there for different religions and different cultures.
Like Shark Week.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Shark Week.
You know how much money I could make on you if I did Shark Week sales? I'm telling you.
Lisa, I want us to talk about and I made a little slide for this because I'm slide happy today. There's some things that every sales plan must have. Must have clear financial goals. And when I say clear financial goals, I'm talking about revenue targets that your business is aiming to achieve within a certain period. And then they need to have a target audience for your sale close. That's making sure you know who is your customer. Marketing channels, what platforms or promotion products are you going to use to market your product or your service? And then finally, sales targets. That's a specific sales goal that your team or you will aim to achieve if you happen to be a solopreneur. With those 4 things, Lisa, take a minute and let's start with the financial goals. Why is that so important? Not people say, Brenda, that's a dumb question. But Lisa, please know this. I always do clear transparency. I didn't have any financial goals in the beginning. I just thought I'll just make some money, but I did not have a clear target that says every month I need to make X amount of dollars. And because I didn't have a clear goal, there were days I didn't even break even. And there were other days that not breaking even, I just went into debt. So talk about the financial goals.
And that's what's really important. If you look at your financial goals, your target audience, your market channels, and your sales targets, that is going to help you in the end. Actually, how much money am I going to spend? So if you only have $100 to spend, your financial goals of how much you're going to make, what's going to be your return on investment in that is going to be critical. So knowing what you need will also help with this. So for example, if your target is that you have to make $1,000 by the end of whatever sales plan you have, let's take it all the way to December 31st. And so instead of 1,000, you have to make $5,000 by December 31st. Let's work backwards on your financial goal. How much money do you have to make every week or every day, depending on what you are selling? Are you a professional service? Are you a retail? Are you in commerce? Are you going to make your financial goals? Because you may put your financial goals out there, but remember, things get put in the way. So always increase that financial goal. So if your financial goal is 5,000, increase it by 1,000, because there's going to be things that you are going to add added expenses that you had not thought about. Something's going to happen. One of my favorite businesses happens to be a t-shirt maker. He makes t-shirts. And he makes them, he customizes them. So you tell him what design you want. He creates a design, he gets your approval, and then he puts it on a t-shirt. He does all that in his house. The problem is he had a financial goal to make at the end of the month of $6,000. He knew exactly how many t-shirts. He had everything set, and he needed that $5,000, $6,000. So he set it for 6, and he only made 5. Had he changed that a little bit, set it for 6 or set it for 7, he would have made 6, because he lost $1,000 because he had to go buy stuff he didn't realize he needed. So even though his financial goal, he achieved 5,000, had he made it 7,000, he would have achieved 6,000. So make sure it's realistic.
But I think that's important to just pause right there before we move on to target audiences. That when you're talking about what you have to make, you have to factor in the cost of doing business and taxes. Oftentimes, solopreneurs especially don't factor in those two prices. So if you say, like Lisa was saying, if your goal is to make 5,000 at the end of the month, that's what you have to make. You need to know your break-even point. If it takes you $1,000 to break even, then you really need to make 6,000 to clear the 5,000. And if you have 28% taxes, well, y'all do the math on that because I'm not a mathematician. You need to have whatever 28% of that 5,000 is so you can pay your taxes. So let's just round it up for those mathematically challenged like myself and say you need to make $10,000. That way, you know you got a good profit and you have your break-even costs, your taxes, and any other miscellaneous things that may come on. So make sure you do the math and have a solid financial plan within your sales plan. Moving on to target audience, Lisa. I love it when I ask somebody, who's your target audience? And they say, everybody. I say, the devil is a lie. You can't sell or do the everybody. You need to pick out those key people. You know, you need to name her or him and be clear about who they are. What's your thoughts on that, Lisa?
I totally agree. You know, there's some people name their avatar. I struggle with naming my avatar. I did name an avatar, but I struggled because when I named my avatar, I named it a female, but it's both male and female. So I actually cater to everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. So I kind of adjusted my avatar and made my avatar a bear.
But see here, when you just said it, you said you cater to everybody. That's not true. I'm gonna call and wait. If I wish I had a flag, I'll wave the BS flag because she doesn't cater to everybody.
No,
Lisa has a specific target market, and that is male and female executives. So that are ready to get results and get results now because she is the 15-minute results coach. And see, that's important to point out because, for example, if your specialty, for example, let's see something. If your specialty was shark aficionados like myself, then it doesn't do any good if you're trying to sell to somebody that likes cats. Right. You need to go to the people that is your target audience, and knowing what they like and what they do is going to be important to making sure you plan for them. Naming them is but one of the small parts, but we have a whole course on target gathering the information you need to create your target audience. And that's another talk. Today, we're talking about the sales plan and the call to action. So we're going to move right on to your marketing channels. You know, Lisa, when I started, I tried to be everywhere all the time. That was exhausting. I don't think it's necessary to be on every social media out there. I recently discovered that some of the people that are my target audience don't even have social media. Who knew? So I had to figure out, how do I reach those people? It was simply going to church, because those church ladies that want some of the things that I do in my specialty area there, I'm not going to find them sitting on Facebook, Instagram, internet, or nothing. They're seniors and they're looking for different information. So I had to go to where my client was. It means I had to put on my little church hat and go see Sister Waysave. What do you think about your marketing channels, Lisa?
They are so important because even with your target audience, when you're looking up the age and you're looking up the demographics and all of that determines the marketing channel. You cannot pick a marketing channel unless you've completely identified your target market. And that is a problem for a lot of people who are not on social media. If you are a retail store, I always suggest that they put a card out. What social media are you on? We're on this platform. identify the form that works best. You know, a lot of years ago, with the invention of advertising and marketing, one of the things that we did was we started with newspaper. And it's like, wait a minute, now we have all of these hundreds of thousands of resources, and you have a billion people posting every minute.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to be recognized, which means you have to really make sure that your marketing channel is the one that your customers are on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram. Tailor that to you. Focus on one first, and then take it to the second one, and then take it to a third one if you continue to add on to your platforms. But I strongly encourage you to focus on one and then two at the max during the holiday span.
I have to tell you a quick story about a marketing channel. I had a young lady who was determined she was going to do her business all online, and I kept telling her, "No, you're not going to be able to." And she was just fussing me down. And I said, "Sweetie, you want to do eyelashes. That's her specialty. You're going to have to see somebody in person. Yes, you can use online as part of your marketing channel, but part of it, you're going to have a physical place or be willing to go to their location to actually put the eyelashes on your customer." So the key is just to be flexible, know what your particular product or service requires, and then set your channel up accordingly. Finally, in this area, we're going to talk about sales targets. Now, your sales targets need to be matched to your financial goals. It's really important. If your goal, say, for example, as Lisa said, was $5,000 a month, and you had a product that was 5,000, or let's say 1,000, just for math purposes, so we can do some math. Say your product or service that you offered was $1,000 a unit. Then that means you'd have to sell 5 of them to at least reach your $5,000 goal. And you have to sell 6 of them to go over so that you go past your break even. And anything above that, you're now making a really good profit. So if I said that, did I say that right correctly, Lisa? I'm in my head. I think I did it wrong. But the point is, you have to be clear on what's your financial target, what's your break even point, your taxes, stuff like we said. Know the price of your product or service and sell enough of it to at least break even or make a profit. Your thoughts, Lisa?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think especially when it comes to sales targets for your professional services, those are the ones that generally will miss this step, because for professional services, they don't consider their time.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore they say, well, if I charge $300 an hour, and I've already made money because my expense is my time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's actually not true, because you have to think about everything else that goes into it: the electricity, the location, wherever you're at. Even if you're at home, you have a home office, etc. So I think identifying the specific sales goals is so critical, or sales targets are so critical, because you have to know how much you want and what your actual target is, so that you know where you're going. And if you don't have that planned, and you just say, well, wait a minute, why care? Why do I have my financial goal? Why do I need a sales target to go with a financial goal? Because those are apples and oranges. So your sales target is very specific. This is how much money you want to make. That's the sales that you and your team have to hit. So if you pull up on the register, we sold $5,000, my goal was $5,000, I'm set.
Absolutely. And that's so important. So the 4 parts for your comprehensive sales plan is your financial goals, your target audience, your marketing channels, and your sales target. Now we're going to move on to my absolute favorite in this 2-part double duty punch for how to make more money. And it is effective calls to action. I got actions there. It should say action, but it is C.T.A.s. It's a call to action. Lisa, the number one thing you and I failed to do in the beginning was ask. Yes, I'm hollering again, you guys. You gotta ask. What in the world were we thinking, Lisa, when we failed to even ask anybody to buy our product or services? I actually thought people were just going to show up because I was cute. Yeah, I said that. Now, although I am a money magnet and people were putting money in my cash app, I thought, wow, what would happen if I was intentional? And then someone used the term CTA. I said, what's that? And they said call to action. So then I began to study and discover what a call to action was. And there are 4 keys also to calls to action, Lisa. Call to action must haves. You must have clarity and be concise. That means you must be clear in telling your customers exactly what they need to do. For example, buy now, add to a cart, purchase this book. It's available on Amazon. What's your call to action? You must create a sense of urgency. Urgency motivates people to buy. For example, limited stock, sales ends today. We support and give discounts to fast action takers. How many of y'all have heard that? That sense of urgency is part of your call to action. Value proposition. See my little unicorn I use for that, Lisa? Because you got to show the customer the value that they'll receive by taking the desired action that you're asking them to do. For example, 50% off or whatever. And I say unicorn because value propositions are so funny to me, Lisa. They can be a whole bunch of different things and they're unique to your business or service. That's why I use the unicorn for that. Also, visibility. What's your brand? Can people recognize your brand? If you see a little swoosh, everybody on the planet knows that is Nike. No matter where you go, no matter who you are, if you could be living under a rock and you're going to know that that little swoosh is Nike. So when we're talking about having a call to action, the first step, Lisa, is to ask. What say you, Lisa?
Oh, that is the understatement of the year. But it's not as easy for me as it is for you to ask. You for a call to action is like breathing. It's so natural for you, and you don't struggle with it. I actually struggle with it immensely, and partially because I'm an introvert, partially because that's just not my style, even when I know it's going to benefit you. So one of the things is you have to get comfortable doing call to actions. And even if things for me, in order to be comfortable, I focused mine more on my strategic strength. So I like to educate people. So I focus more on my call to actions based on something they're going to get some education piece. So if you go out to my website, massvcc.org, you're going to see there's a bunch of resources out there. So I'm going to educate you on a whole bunch of things with a simple click of a button. So those call to actions, they're clear, they're concise. Visit the website. And when it comes to urgency is actually, believe it or not, one of my pet peeves, because I always get a little bit annoyed when I go out to a website and it says you got 27 minutes or 2 days to sign up for this. And 5 weeks later, I go back and I see the same thing. Be honest with the urgency. So, for example, Brenda and I, our Veteran Business Anthology book, it's coming out for October 30th. And from October 30th to November 3rd for National Veteran Small Business Week, it's going to be free on Amazon Kindle. And the reality is it is going to be free, and it's only going to be free for that week. So that would be the urgency for something like that. And it's okay. Urgency can mean a couple of hours or it can mean a couple of days, but urgency is designed to get you to take action. Make it comfortable for you. And it is okay. And it is completely acceptable calls of actions because, like Brenda said, if you don't ask, you don't get. And don't be afraid to ask, and make that call to action right there. Put it right at the top of your website, the bottom of your website, on the side of your website. Make sure you put your call to action, not only if you're doing a graphic, put it on the graphic, but also put it in the text of any social media you do. If you are a retail store, then put that call to action on a business card that says, we want you to do this, join our mailing list, or whatever it is you want them to do. Make it visible and make it easy.
Another thing that we need to say about call to actions, and I wish I had to put it, here's a bonus, guys. Make sure when you're giving a call to action, don't put 20 call to actions in one. Give them one clear call to action so that people don't have a whole bunch of choices. When you do that, you confuse people. I was guilty of that. I soon learned that it's best to just have one dynamic call to action for where you really want people to go, for what you really want people to do. And then that way it's clearer, it's more concise, and it's not confusing. As far as the urgency is concerned, it is about the psychology of selling. We have training all about that in the portal, Lisa. But those are things you do to ensure you can get the product or service you sold in a timely manner, because people will procrastinate, or like we like to say, creatively avoid even a purchase that's good for them. The reason I don't struggle with calls to actions anymore, Lisa, once I discovered what they were, it's because I studied money mindset. That's another class that we're going to be having in the portal to get people over their aversion to selling in general and having calls to action. Because when you have a product or service to offer, please understand you have something of value that someone else is willing to exchange their hard-earned cash for. So you might as well have your hand out and be willing to take it. So feel free. If any of you today want to support that theory, I have a cash app. The solution is $solution is 2037. Feel free to drop a dollar or two or more in there. Why do we do that? Because remember, you have not because you ask not. Put your cash app, your Venmo, your PayPal, whatever it is, in your bios, in your links, in your social media. Give people the opportunity to give and support the product or service that you have to offer. We also talk about the value proposition, Lisa, by making sure we tell customers how they can save money or to get something by buying it now. And we talked about visibility. Your brand must be visible. Remember, if you're not, like we talked about in the sales plan up top, if you're not making your product or service visible, people can't purchase it. As simple as that. You have to get your branding on point so people can recognize you when you're out there, so you stand out from the crowd. And you have to take the time to make sure that what you are selling actually does or provides the service that you say. Lisa, any final thoughts on that before we move to the wrap up?
I will tell you, I think that if you make your value proposition easy to remember, the call to action is going to be simple. One all-time favorite value propositions is actually from Uber, believe it or not. And their value proposition is the smartest way to get around.
I like that. And every time you say that, I get a kick out of it. It's simple, it's concise, and they're telling you it's the smartest way to get around. So you don't want to be dumb. Why get anybody else? Get Uber.
There you go. And there's a lot of people who can get you around, but that's Uber. So when you think about your value proposition, that's one of the things that's so important. And your call to action, just do it. And, there's nothing wrong with asking. They don't have to accept. Nobody has to click that button. They know how to go by it without clicking. So all you're doing is hurting yourself by not doing a call to action. And to be honest, you're hurting anybody who needs that service or product that you have that will be valuable to them.
That's what I say. Give everybody the opportunity to see how absolutely fabulous your product or service is. Ask them to purchase it. Lisa, one of the things that we need to get done when we have these planned for actions and the sales plan and the call to actions is we need to monitor. It's important to regularly review your sales plan to ensure it's effective. Monitor your sales figures, customer acquisition costs, conversion rates, and other relevant metrics. If you're not meeting your targets, you may need to adjust your sales plan, your strategies, and your call to action. For example, if your call to actions aren't leading any type of conversions, that's sales, you might need to make a more compelling or place a more prominent advertisement, be it free or paid, so that people can be aware of what it is you're trying to offer. I think one of the disservices we do to ourselves is we don't stop long enough to put in the foundational pieces, like actually planning for ourselves financially, our channels that we're going to market them in, plan for our sales targets and who we're actually trying to sell to in our target audiences. When we fail to be clear on our call to actions, we don't provide a sense of urgency so people don't think, well, I can always do this later. We don't show the value and we're not visible. We're doing ourselves a disservice. Lisa, I really wanted to make sure that anybody that wanted to make more money understood the value and importance of having these two things in place so that they can have an effective sales plan as well as calls to action. Any final thoughts on for someone that may be listening saying that's a lot pretty fast?
Actually, believe it or not, it's not as complicated as it sounds. You do an ad, you put it out. If there's nobody biting, it doesn't mean that you have a bad product or service. What it generally means is you didn't say it the right way. You were not clear, you were not concise, or your call to action was not there. So back and just do it again. It is really that simple, but you have to take the time to do it. If you don't take the time to plan, then you plan to fail, is ultimately what you're doing. So take the time to plan, get it together, and just do it. And then make sure you do review and monitor, because that's going to help you see what's working and what's not. Nothing is ever perfect the first time we do it. I don't care who you are. Always have to test out the waters about what works and what doesn't work. And if you're too embarrassed to put it out there the first time, share it with your friends and say, hey, put it out there, and then message it to your friends and have them look at it for you. You can always delete.
All right, Lisa, I made the final slide because I really want to drive this point home. A comprehensive sales plan and effective CTAs are crucial for driving sales in a product based or service based small business. By understanding your target audience, setting clear goals, crafting compelling CTAs, and regularly reviewing your performance, you can you can increase your chance for success. See that little dollar sign and the money over there? I thought that was cute. Lisa, so many entrepreneurs that we talk to don't have a plan. We are now about to go into the final quarter of 2023. You know, we're in the last inning of the year. Come on, you sports fans out there, get in the game and plan a successful sales plan and a successful calls to action. I'm going to put this slide up just one more time because I just really want you guys to understand that what you have heading forward from now until December, look out for business events that you can be a part of and set yourself a plan. Amazon Prime Days. I put that on there because if you're an entrepreneur, an influencer, anybody on social media, if there's a product or service you use, get you an Amazon store so that when people buy it, you make some affiliate income from it. We're going to do a whole training on affiliate income. Make sure you pay attention to the holidays locally, nationally, and look for some of them obscure holidays for an opportunity to find out what's going on in your area. Do not, I repeat, do not forget National Veterans Small Business Week. You don't have to be a veteran to make this an effective selling week for you. Veterans buy, veterans sell. If you're a veteran, really, really dig into that. Black Friday. You don't want to miss that. You know, people go crazy on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Pay attention to the dates. Plan now so that you can cash in and make more money. Are you ready to make more money now? DM Lisa and I on social media. You can find us. We want to hear all about it, or we want to help you do it. We have paid and free opportunities for you to make more money, and we're happy to show you how. Lisa, what's your final thoughts?
I think it's fantastic. And when you mentioned Prime, it was funny that you mentioned Prime, because October 5th, we are actually doing with Amazon. We are actually doing a build a business with Amazon.
Wow.
Webinar. So that's October 5th. Go out to massvcc.org. Go all the way to the bottom where the events are and register.
That is www.massc. What is it?
VCC.
Okay, MASSVCC, Massachusetts Veterans Chamber of Commerce.org. You don't want to miss that. Lisa's going to be having some amazing trainings. And Lisa, I don't have a slide for this, but I would like you to very briefly talk about coffee time, because that's going to be kicking off. And I'm excited about all the trainings we're going to be doing.
You know, I am so excited about the coffee hour, because one of the things that we were thinking about when it came to how can we help businesses prepare for National Veteran Small Business Week and the holidays. So we came up with morning mission coffee hour, 7 to 8 a.m. Via Zoom. And it is Eastern Standard Time, by the way. And we're going to talk about it's kind of a networking. It's kind of a very relaxed way to start your day, but to energize you, give you some information, help you understand different things about really, it comes down to about marketing and business stuff. So this is really all business. It's not just marketing. I do want to talk about business. It's not selling. The goal is not to sell. The goal is to work on things that you need to market and advertise your business, and also to find a way to work on your business instead of in your business. And that you can also find on the website.
And did I get it right this time, Lisa?
Yeah.
massvcc.org. Want to make sure you go there and have the opportunity to check it out. Lisa, that's on Wednesdays, right? 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Eastern time. And
starting October 4th.
Starting October 4th. You don't want to miss it. Go to massvcc.org to get your information. Lisa, thank you as always for coming to join me and allowing me to pick your brain and see what you're thinking about what's going on in the world of business. Ladies and gentlemen, remember to tap in and to, what did I do? I put another banner up there, didn't I, Lisa?
Oh, you got my favorite one. It's good, thunders and precedent, but lightning does the work. Mark Twain.
That's it. It was meant to happen. The bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, remember to tap in to live your best life now. And always, always remember, if you never remember anything else I ever told you, remember the choices you make today will be the reality you live tomorrow. So choose wisely. Be blessed, everyone, and have a great weekend.
Bye.